Hello everybody, I'm Trevor Bales. Welcome to the Bales Hay Farm and Ranch Show. That's our swather. Everybody asks about rocks and stuff. How does he go so fast? Because he's probably going 18 right now. Well, we run up against our gophers. Gopher hole, mound, gopher mound, gopher mound, gopher mound, gopher, gopher. Other than that, everything's pretty smooth. We don't really have rocks or anything else, gophers. But before we get into it, hit the like button, thumbs up, and share it with someone, and leave a comment. I've been pretty good. I've been getting back to everybody. Dano, I always get back to you. Brody, thanks for all the comments, the email. Guy from Canada that always says hello from Calgary. I'm going off, I forget where you're from. Anyways, yeah, I notice, I see those things. Thanks, guys. I love it. It helps a lot. We're making hay. This alfalfa, I wish we let it go a little longer. It's up to my knee. I just checked. Everything else is still a little bit too wet. We had nothing else to cut. We're a little low on acres. So instead of letting the swather sit, we decided to just mow this stuff. I would have preferred to go another 4 or 5 days. This time of year, the evenings are still cool. The mornings are still in the high 50s, low 60s. Man, alfalfa thrives on this weather. I'd rather go for tonnage, but I didn't get to make that choice, so we're swathing. My irrigator called and said we had a gopher washout issue. Huh. Let's see see how it's working backwards. There's a gopher hole that comes from the field into this drain ditch, and we could still drive over it right now. It's not as bad as I thought it was, but next irrigation, there'll be a hole in that road. When we irrigate, the water comes out of the field into these drains and goes to either sumps, or the tailwater, we call it, goes to other fields and back into the system. And that's where this water is leaking to. Or it also goes back into the river, which then goes down to the next farm district, and they use it. So This water gets used several times. It's supposed to be like 98 today. A little getting warm. What do you guys think of that new hat? It's like a rubber stamp. Hey, hustler. We haven't talked about irrigation in a while. We're irrigating right now. We're always irrigating, it seems like. We are not a dryland farmer. I've talked about irrigation quite a bit in the past. I haven't talked about it recently, but we flood irrigate all of our fields. When I say flood irrigate, there are no sprinklers, there are no pivots, there's nothing of that. We're not waiting for rain. There's nothing of that nature. We flood the fields. Now, the only way that works is with geometry and sectioning off each field with borders, the dirt borders. I talk about dirt borders a lot. And that is what they are for. They are for the irrigation, to keep the water on one specific area of the field with slope, with zero side fall, and slope going down the hill, downhill, I should say. So there's the border. There's one over there. The water is open on these ports going here, and we are higher elevation than we are there. It's extremely flat though. So to get that to work, there's a lot of water in this ditch, and it's physically pushing the water downhill with quote unquote pressure. We don't get water from the Colorado River. Well, we kind of do. When someone in Phoenix drinks water and pees, it goes down in through the sewer system, and then we buy water from the city that's already been used through, that's already gone through the plant, the sewage plant. So this water has come, part of our water has come from the sewage plant. The other part of the water, and other cities, not just Phoenix, but the suburbs of Phoenix as well. The other part of this water is extremely salty, and it comes out of pumps that run right through this valley. In the past, this water has been so salty, nobody wants anything to do with it. Cities don't want it. It destroys water systems in houses, faucets, anything that it touched, it just destroys. So nobody wants this water. So for 100 years, and you say, and you're like, no, I'm not exaggerating. The 100-year anniversary of this district is coming up, but they irrigated before that too. Anyway, so for 100 years, this valley has used this exact water to irrigate farm ground. With our leveling systems, we have got a lot more efficient at irrigating as well. We use a lot less water than we used to. So people get mad about farmers using water and destroying the land. How can you argue that we've not ran out of water? We're heavily regulated. We're only allowed to use so much water every year. If we go over for some reason that we absolutely have to have water for cotton, or not cotton, but corn rather, we're charged extra. So it's not, don't listen to the news, don't listen to what you read. The farmers are not just destroying the ground and taking the water. My argument is, what is a city doing? They're destroying they're laying concrete, they're laying blacktop, they're building houses, they're sucking up water with sprinkler systems for people to look at a pretty lawn, to have a swimming pool that gets swam in a couple times a year, a pond in front of a office building. That's, to me, that is wasteful. We're creating something. We're either making feed for cattle that will be producing milk, or that will be turned into beef, or hay for horses, what people are riding. So that's, when people come at me with an argument about you guys are wasting water, stealing water, destroying the land, we've got a history of 100 years of doing this. And we're still going, and we're using less water than we've ever used, and we're producing more than we've ever produced. So that argument, you can't win that argument. So anyways, yeah. But here's irrigation. Irrigation is always a touchy subject. So after that mini rant, this is called two things, right? So we have a canal that's right up there that carries water to laterals and or ditches. This is a lateral, but it's also a ditch. A lateral carries water from the canal to a ditch. Then the ditch transfers water to the field. Now this lateral happens to also put water into the field. There are some laterals that don't put water in fields. All they do is transfer water from ditch to ditch to where they can then irrigate. It's, I guess, it's kind of like a freeway, right? No, I guess the canal would be a freeway. I really don't know what the lateral would be then, because in a highway and then the ditches are roads, I don't know. This ditch now comes through here and we have these things called ports, or a porthole. It's a pretty simple design. That lid just goes right over the top of that. And the water comes out right there. So we pump the water out of the ground. We irrigate the ground right here. Literally, the ground is right here. The pumps are right behind me. We irrigate, the water goes back down to the ground. The crops don't use all of the water. A lot of it goes right back down to the ground, right back into the water table. Oh, but you spray chemicals on it. We kill some bugs a couple times a year. Fertilize once. The ground, it separates all of that. That is not making its way back into the water table. Show me some proof. It's not like they do water tests all the time, tons and tons of salt, but that was already here. Then the other part that goes past that goes to the bottom of the field goes out to another ditch. I was just talking about that the tailwater that goes back into the river, which goes down to, there's 2 more irrigation districts below us, and they can use that water as well. Also being in the river, it goes back into the water table. So yeah, it's our irrigation system. Thanks for watching the show, you guys. Hope you enjoy the new drone footage. Hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, share with everyone you know. Thanks for watching. Comment, say anything you want. We'll see you later.